Pole position then, the dark blue Ferrari of Ben Green alongside the green and yellow Aston Martin of Mattia Drudi, the red and white BMW, third Dries van Thor. We go racing, heading up towards Paddock Hill Bend. Not a great start by Drudi, who wants to try to get on the inside then, but he can't do that because Dries van Thor is alongside him. Ben Green leads, Drudi is second, Van Thor is third as they file uphill for the first time. Drudi late on the brakes, Tom Gamble fourth in the McLaren, and Ben Green hanging on in there. Drudi tries to get up the inside for Graham Hill Bend, gets roughed up, runs out wide, drops back in the pack. Tom Gamble is under attack there. Look, is Giacomo Altway right into the back of him, and out wide goes Gamble. He's off the racetrack, he's back on again, but he's losing place after place as Van Thor goes second.
And Mattia Drudi tried to go round the outside up at Druids, but lost out ultimately to Dries van Thor. Oh, look, up coming through Graham Hill Bend. And that has, whether that was self-induced or whether that was as the Porsche, well, it started near the back of the grid. I can assure you now, it will be at the back of the grid. That was whether it was an assist. I can't imagine you get that far off the racetrack. Back, Drudi's coming back around the outside, up at Hawthorns and shuts the door. Make sure Dries van Thor knows that I should have been in second place coming out of, let's say, Graham Hill Bend up into Surtees.
It was Patrick Niederhauser in the Porsche then off the road, and Maxi Goetz did not start the race. He came into the pit lane, so number 9 Mercedes in problems for sure, and it's in danger of dropping a lap. So this all of a sudden has taken one of the favourites, not just for the races this weekend, pre-event, but the championship too, right out of contention. Leaders coming up to the end of the opening lap then, and Ben Green has done a really good job for the first lap to hang on in there in the Ferrari. In second place is Mattia Drudi, and Ben benefiting from the squabbling by opening the margin a little bit. That is the Mercedes. We understand it's an engine-related problem.
The potential pass coming up. Max Hoffer under threat from Tom Gamble. Hoffer shut the door now that Gamble has made that overtake up into Paddock Hill Bend. So clearly the McLaren running more quickly than the Audi, and it was just more a matter of if than when. There's the start. Great start from Ben Green, but look on the right-hand side, getting closer, closer, closer. On the inside line, up into Paddock Hill Bend. Dries van Thor gets the job done, he thinks. But look, the Aston Martin hangs in and manages to get marginally ahead. But then the BMW's right up the rear of the Ferrari. This is where we see Mattia Drudi being forced, unintentionally so, by Ben Green, wide.
It's a good little battle going on there. Look, Audi versus Ferrari, diving down towards Westfield, and that is Ivan Klimenko keeping Sean Hudspeth at bay for 17th overall, and they're both in the Silver Cup. In fact, they're arguing for 4th in silver, as there, Rhys Barr makes his move and goes ahead of Paul Everard.
That was a good pass. He got into position in Dingledale and got up alongside just at the point of entry into Sheen and made them. That was a good pass. That's an ideal opportunity. Doing it, that's not easy.
Now, Van Thor has been ahead briefly, but he's looking ever so menacing now. And Drudi is going to have to work hard, and look, he's hanging it out over the curb. The pressure is on as Van Thor goes to the outside line. That is Nicholas Bart looking on the outside line into Clark Curve. Surely ain't going to work, but now Van Thor wants that switch back. Is there a gap? Is there a gap? Is there a gap? Yes, yes, yes. Side by side coming over the timing line, and he's got the job done well before Paddock Hill Bend. Great move.
I mean, a classic overtake. All started on the exit of Stirling's, and he started to do the work over coming into Clearways and Clark, and then the switchback. The BMW was clearly quicker on the exit, we could see that, and that was an easy overtake in relative terms. Mattia Drudi was sort of hung out to dry because his exit out of Clark Curve just didn't have the pace of the BMW, and he's had to concede. And now the focus for Dries van Thor is, how can I run down that 2.8 second gap between myself, Ben Green and the lead Ferrari. Ben Green's had the drive of a weekend, nobody around him, lovely sunny day, he's just enjoying himself.
2.8 seconds, though, is a lot to claw back, isn't it? And bear in mind that we're working our way through this first stint. Now, further back in the queue, Tom Gamble is trying to recover from that lost ground earlier on, but the McLaren chases after number 30 of Callum Williams, so that puts Tom Gamble 12th, and he is picking his way back up the order. Patrick Niederhauser, after his big grassy moment, had to catch up again, first of all, but he's now got past James Jakes. Let's hear.
So we now have 3 warnings in T3. No risk T3. No risk T3. Can't have any more. No risk. There in unity, because I don't think I've done it 3 times then. We'll have a look.
Now T3.
No risk at all. No risk at all.
T3 is Graham Hill Bend. And that is Engel, who's been off the road at Paddock. So Mauro Engel has run wide. You can see all the gravel all over the tyres. Suddenly he's been caught by Leggeret. So Mauro Engel making a small mistake at Paddock Hill Bend.
Totally unexpected in my view. I don't know what he did wrong. We'd like to see maybe a bit more of that. What happened coming into Paddock Hill there. Oh, he's way, way wide on the entry. How he got away out there, I have no idea. That's not the line you would normally expect to take under these circumstances.
Here, look, Dries van Thor continues to push on. He's 2.7 seconds back. He's wide at Hawthorn. I was going to say, we know how good WRT can be on pit stops, though.
Yes, that may be the strength overall, but Dries van Voort, I mean, he's just pushing absolutely to the limit of what the BMW is going to give him. He's got that gap down first to second to 2.7 seconds. It's going to come down by maybe hundredths of seconds over the next remaining laps prior to the pit lane window opening up, and then Charles Verts will get in behind the wheel. But look at going back up to the exit of Sheen Curve. How much more can you run without getting off onto the grass? I mean, what an image. I mean, four-wheel drift. When did we last see that? Laying black lines. Look at those black lines. That's right foot nailed to the firewall on the BMW.
And he was on the edge here as well, wasn't he? Super Slow Joe, our cameraman at Stirling's, capturing these images and doing a great job. And you can see how much commitment is in this from Van Voort.
I would ask, WRT, are you running traction control at all? Because those black lines, if you have traction control, ought not to be there.
Ben Green leader is in, and you can expect Dries van Voort in behind him. Now, is an Emil Frey Racing pit stop as good or better than a WRT pit stop? You're about to find out, and this is going to be critical. Now, look, the gap when they came through last time, 2 seconds. Look what it is coming into the pit lane. Van Voort braking so much later than Green there. He's clawed back most of the time on that alone.
Yes, I mean, this is part of the skill of understanding how you do your pit stop strategy. So Dries van Voort out. Charles Verts gets in, waiting to see where the Ferrari is. They were fractionally, maybe a couple of seconds ahead of the BMW in that pit stop, so Constant Appolina is in behind the wheel, but you have to imagine, and is that a problem? Who's standing by the driver's door? There is our race leader, by the way, Matteo Drudi. The Ferrari is rolling. Oh, BMW have got it done.
They've got the lead, so there you go. On the pit stops, the BMW jumps ahead after all of Ben Green's work. Charles Weerts comes out ahead, and a fantastic effort. Matthew Drudi leads on the road, but there, number 32, BMW now. Charles Weerts, 41.7 seconds, 43.6 for Emil Frey Racing. I asked the question before the pit stop. Is it as good as WRT? No, it isn't. So there's going to be a real jumble of the order for the next few laps whilst these pit stops all cycle through. So we've had a drama there. Somebody's been off the road at Paddock and demolished the corner marker at Druids. We'll try and work out who that is, but certainly dramas at Paddock Hill Bend.
Yes, let's have a look and see who is it. Oh, on the outside. See, that's the Ferrari,
yeah.
And I can't believe it, the 99, that's Riccardo Feller.
Yeah, Feller did it first, Vermeulen followed him, and this was how Vermeulen saw it.
Yeah, well, in the case of Feller, it was a snap oversteer, and the counter-steering, the car then just stepped sideways.
Right, Drudi is in, there he is, look to give way to Nicolas Bart. There's a yellow flag out in Sector 1, possibly a legacy of that debris on the racetrack. And here is Charles Weerts, and he's going to get the lead back, and up into second goes Lapalainen. So number 7, Aston Martin, there it is in the background, falls back into third place, which is where it was before the pit stops. And then Lucas Auer is going to be closer.
Interestingly, lead in second place, 2 Irish drivers, one from the north, one from the south.
Eastwood.
Don't often see that in a race.
No, it's true. Charlie Eastwood ahead of Reece Barr. I hate to ruin this by saying that's because they get to stop.
Don't say it.
But you're right. You're right. For the moment they are. And there, look, the marker board that was demolished at Paddock up to Druids has been caught by Nicolas Bart's Aston. That's going to do a power of no good to the cooling of the Aston Martin, look, because it's effectively choking it off. It's like wearing a face mask now. You can't really breathe through the front of the car. So the pace is ebbing away from the Aston, and you can see how much closer Lucas Auer is getting. Well,
that's never a good thing. I mean, virtually all the air intakes, that's not just to the engine, but to the cooling and the brakes as well. So that's, that's what's happened. It happened on the exit of Stirling's. We thought it was jumping up into Druids. It's happened on the exit of Stirling's. That's why he's carrying around chunks of polystyrene in the front of the car. Is he coming in? I think he thought about it. He certainly backed off and allowed the Mercedes to go through, and maybe he just missed the pit lane entry.
Or the dials have suddenly gone off the clock because that car has kind of got into limp home mode, and I rather fear that the car has overheated to the degree now that Nicolas Bart is just going to have to limp round. But you're right, that would have been the ideal time to come into the pit lane. So that puts Lucas Auer up into third place.
I'll tell you what, MSV, who run Brands Hatch, are going to look at their bank accounts and think, where is all our polystyrene, the corner markers? Where have they gone? Well, there they are. Something is pulling off. That's sad. That is really sad.
And that surely is overheating. And we are going to go full course yellow in 10 seconds. That's to get the Aston out of the way. And there, some slow before others. Number 6 there, Luca Engschler, he's just on the pit stops, got into the lead of the Gold Cup. We've had a change for the lead of Gold. He's moved ahead of 111, Simon Gachet at the wheel of it. And there is the number 6 Audi. New to the championship, the team of Licky Molly Engschler with the One Group Engineering, Ron Hartveld's company. And there, aim for the weekend, when we asked Ron Hartwell yesterday, I said, are you after a position, or what's the aim of the weekend? He said, respect. We want to prove that we deserve to be here.
And I think, based on their performance right now in live time, they're earning that.
Absolutely. They're winning the class. I mean, what better debut? Fantastic effort. Luca Engstler coming here on the back of a DTM win last week. Now, this is how all of that polystyrene arrived on the circuit. So have a look. Where's the Aston? There's the Aston. Boom, absolutely demolishes that board. So that was Nicolas Bart, who very nearly had to pay to get back on the racetrack, didn't he? But all the hoarding is absolutely demolished. So the green flag is ready at the start line. The green flags are being waved. You can't overtake until you get to the timing line, but it is blast off, and a good restart by Charles Weerts. But is it a good enough restart by Constant Lapalainen to try to close that gap back in the first sector of the lap? We're racing again with just over 16 minutes on the clock as they head up towards turn 1. Lucas Al thrown this lifeline. He has got to get through the traffic here.
So on board with the Ferrari, and that's a battle that's going on, just as I said, for 5th and 4th, 5th and 6th place. So Vermeulen up the inside, trying to get onto the back of Lucas Auer's Mercedes, and contact between the Ferrari and the Audi, and the Ferrari's been almost forced wide and hasn't lost a position.
I think it has. So Vermeulen losing out to Ricardo Feller. There he is on the inside line. Look, Ricardo Feller goes by. Winner here last year.
Well, Ricardo Feller ain't going to be any walk in the park to get back on terms with, because he does currently have the fastest lap of the race.
True enough. And don't forget, this safety car period has been a real kick in the you-know-whats for number 69 Ferrari because of that 5-second penalty to add at the end of the race. With everybody bunched up, 5 seconds are going to drop you further.
Oh, I know. It just compounds upon itself.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about compounding in time. Up the inside to defend. So the 21 Aston Martin is more. So it's all a bit sort of squeaky, you know what, up the inside into Sheen. Aston, a big hung out to drive by the 69 Ferrari. And wow, it's messy. Lucas Auer, oh, wow, what a goodness, bodywork coming off the rear of the Aston as it ran wide over the exit of Sterling's.
Mathis Lismont with a bit of hip and shoulder being forced out of the way. You saw Benjamin Goethe making his way through on the traffic as well. So Charles Weerts comes across the line, the race leader. Half a second to the good. That's Lucas Auer going through in 3rd place. 4th, 5th, 6th. Next in the queue, Ferrari, Feller, Vermeulen. And a big send on the inside there. Look by. Maxime Martin gets up past his teammate Sam de Haan. WRT, BMWs both. That was a change for 10th place. And change for 11th imminent as well, because Luca Engstler on the inside line, the Licky Moly Audi, goes through.
Yeah, and Simon Gachet likewise trying to slip behind, or slip ahead of the BMW. Engstler did a good job. I mean, I'm very impressed with the way that the Audi right now, Engstler, number 6 of that team, has done.
Feller to the inside of his teammate, contact, and that's Lorenzo Ferrari being tagged off the racetrack into the gravel. Has he got the momentum to get out the other side? Go on, dig, dig, dig. He is going to just about make it, but Lorenzo Ferrari tumbles down the order.
That was pretty brutal.
That's one description.
You know, teammate upon teammate's one thing. I mean, you might do it with the opposition, but doing it on your own teammate, okay, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and that was a case of Ricardo Feller. Sorry, mate, I need to get ahead. I'm quicker than you. Yeah,
but like you say, on your teammate, you can imagine at a tempter, that'll go down like a broken lift, won't it? Right, this is the replay of the move.
I wonder will that be observed by the steward, because you could see clearly, I mean, that was a very forced entry into Surtees by Ricardo Feller, and arguably he wasn't sufficiently alongside the sister car to claim that corner. There we go on board. Ricardo Feller lobs it down the inside. Then the door's closed and I'm stuck there. I've nowhere to go. Contact. I wonder will that be observed?
I think you're probably right. I don't think we've heard the last of that.
Oh dear me. Porsche up the inside.
Yeah, that was Muller getting involved with Hugo Kirk in the silver Audi. He's gone by, but it all got a bit leery. Now Magnus Gustafsson in the white Mercedes comes through as well. So Hugo Cook, the man from Northwich near Alton Park, got a bit roughed up there, didn't he?
He did. Just to go back, Ricardo Feller, who managed to, by ends up being a bit of a bully, up the inside into Surtees. He's in 4th position. His teammate demoted all the way down to 20th. That's the penalty that has been inflicted upon the 88 Audi, the sister car to the car that is currently in 4th at 99.
There's quite a good battle going on here, not to be last.
Oh.
Whoops, big slide by the Aston. I was going to say it is between Marcus Pavrud and Mathis Lismont. Now look at this. This is Maxime Martin on his toes. As up the inside line there goes Benjamin Goethe. That's for 6th overall. Goethe goes ahead of Cesar Gazot, who keeps his class lead, and Martin has cleared Compact.
And that's a car, Garage 59 McLaren, that was a car that also opening lap was elbowed out on the bottom of Graham Hill Bend. That's gradually driving its way back up into 6th place. Could have been a contender, certainly for a podium, had that contact not occurred on the opening lap. On board with the McLaren. So
this is the
let's
replay of the
have
move.
a little look and catching. Pulls out, gets alongside, gets the high ground on the entry into Hawthorns. All of a sudden, that was a sort of a no-brainer.
Oh, off in the gravel at paddock, Mathis Lismont. We've got 8 minutes on the clock. That's going to have to be a full course yellow to get the car out of the way. This might even mean we go to the end under safety car, because that might take a few minutes.
I think it was that car we saw coming out of Graham Hill Bend a lap early that looked well off the pavement. That you can see well and truly off the line coming into Paddock Bend. Got back onto the black stuff, but just the momentum carried it into the gravel.
Safety car in at the end of this lap. Charles Witt is about to pull the pin. Let's quickly hear 32's radio traffic.
Yes, you would have to slow it down by 10 seconds, but you can only do that once the safety car lights are out and you control the pack. You'll need to slow it down by 10 seconds to take away a lap.
And by slowing it down by 10 seconds, that means there'll be just one more lap of the race. So they've worked out that he only has to defend for 1 lap, not 2.
And again, look, that's why this team wins races.
Yeah.
They have worked it out. They've got a strategic team base. There he goes. Plug out. And where's the Ferrari? Well, not a bad start, but Lucas Auer actually did a better job, I think, than Lapalainen did in restarting. And in 4th place, Riccardo Fella, but there's a potential opportunity, Lucas Auer, to take or steal that 2nd place from Costa Lapalainen.
Totally agree. So brilliant restart by Charles Witt. Great teamwork by WRT to work out how to lose a lap out of the race, if you like, and therefore have less time to have to defend that lead.
10 seconds to car 90 for speeding in the pit lane.
Bad Panda.
Time
Bad
penalty,
Panda, yeah.
5 seconds to car 99 speeding in the pit lane.
And 99 is Riccardo Fella. So 1 penalty for the pit lane. There might be another one for on the track. Right, this is Fella. He's on the back of Auer. And Lapalainen, I will offer you, is having a red-hot go at the leader because the gap is coming down a little bit, but I do feel Lapalainen may well run out of time here. Charles Witt controlling the pace up towards the end. This is going to be another demon race, seemingly, for WRT. It was a lean year last year. This is looking pretty good. It would be a 17th sprint win for Dries Van Thor and a 14th for Charles Witt if this comes to pass.
Well, it's all on Charles Witt's hands. He's got, what, 3 corners to navigate, and then it'll be the checkered flag, so up over Sheen Curve. But if the Ferrari has closed up in that sort of 3rd of the 3 final corners, but no, it's not as Charles Witt's race. And Lapalainen has done a great job. It's now Riccardo Fella again too far behind Lucas Auer in the Mercedes in 3rd place. So there, nothing gained, nothing lost.
Checkered flag at the ready. The first race of the Sprint Cup season, won by BMW, by WRT, by Dries Van Thor and Charles Witt. They win at Brands Hatch ahead of Consta Lapalainen and Ben Green. Lucas Auer takes 3rd with Mauro Engel, and then there'll be some shuffling behind because the order they come across the line in has got a few penalties to apply. I think the big winners on the penalties are going to be Benjamin Goethe and Tom Gamble. They'll be up to 4th, and Ben Green happy with 2nd, but thinking, if only, if only, if only. So near and yet so far from a race win. Right, penalties to be applied, and once that has been done, a race order that is provisionally like this. Dries Van Thor and Charles Witt win by 0.6 of a second from Ben Green and Consta Lapalainen. Mauro Engel and Lucas Auer taking 3rd from Tom Gamble and Benjamin Goethe. Good recovery that, ahead of Aurelien Panis and Cesar Gazzo, your silver winners. And then the gold winners are 6th, Max Hofer and Luca Engstler. Callum Williams and Sam DeHaan 7th from Legeray and Gachet. Fleming and Dono and Arca and Fella 10th in the end with their penalty. Trophies go to our 2nd crew, already in hand of the 3rd, and then it'll go to the team and then to the winning drivers. But that is, in a sense, a throwback to 2 years ago, and that kind of dominance in Sprint Cup of Witt, Van Thor, WRT.